Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Freehand Friday. It's Sam. It's my turn. So I have got for you some inks, some water, which is a funny shade of orange. I wasn't practicing, I promise. What we're going to do is we're going to do some hand lettering. We're going to hand letter a word. I'm going to go with one I'm familiar with, Harry. You can do this with any of the inks you've got in your stash. Now, if you don't have inks that you can drop out like this, you can use perhaps ones that you can express out, add some water to, it'll water down the colour slightly, but that's quite good because it makes it move and makes it fluid. So I have my 1/2 inch Dina Wakley brush. If you use a longer, fluffier brush, you'll get more what would be considered a traditional hand lettering style. We're going to go in capitals, and that's just to show you how it works. This brush is going to give us a really nice chiseled effect. Okay. Oh, we're dropping ink over the place already. It's all going to be great. So we're going to dip from one colour to the next, and that's so that the colour runs into each other. Sounds a bit strange, but it works, I promise. So let's go. So we'll go for some green. This is just some watercolour card that I've got in my stash. It's nothing spectacular or dramatic. See how that colour starts to run into each other? And like I say, we're just moving from one colour to the next each time. And because of the water that we've got involved here, I'm going to move that there so I stop crossing over you. Because of the water we've got there, what it does is it just moves the colours into each other. I haven't measured any lines because, you know, we don't need lines, do we? And see how they start to just blend into each other. And when I say blend, there's not a complete clean line, but that is okay. We don't need that. So I'm involving water in it every time. Somebody didn't put their phone on silent, did they? We're blending colour into that each time. Sorry, blending water into that each time. So that when that colour merges, like I say, it's a merge rather than a blend. It's not going to be a complete mix, but you get some really interesting colours depending on what you use. Ooh, that was a good one. And the thing about this is it's just about having fun with what you're doing. You can still see some pink into that yellow there. And that makes a sort of a really cool sort of orangey colour, doesn't it? Now, you'll see here, these aren't connecting, which is kind of what we want so that the colour runs into each other. So we're just going to make a joining line there. And if you want to just chisel those edges off to make sure that they're nice and tidy, that's great, isn't it? And what I'm going to do over here, just grab a bit of that pink and pop it in there. And there we go. And we can sort of tip it forward so that the colour runs up, run back down. And then I'm just going to grab a microfiber cloth just to lift that excess off. Just fold it completely. You could use tissue, towel. How cool is that? So the next step is I'm just going to give it a quick blast with my heat gun. Now obviously if you've got time to let them air dry, the colour will stay far more intense, but that is okay. It's sort of really sherbety and quite nice. So next step, just going to push those up there so you can see what we're doing. Next step, I have got a black Pigma Micron. It's the 08. I was looking at what I was doing and not what you were seeing. And then very loosely, we're going to edge these letters. Now, it doesn't have to be right up to the colour. That's kind of not the look I want this to have. So it's very sort of rough, and if you go over the colours and onto the colours, that doesn't matter. One of the things that people talk to me about when we're lettering is that oh, well, my handwriting's not great, and this isn't about your handwriting. And even if your handwriting isn't great, it doesn't matter. As long as you're having fun with what you're doing. I have no idea why I started in the middle of that letter there. So giving it this rough edging, what it does is it gives it more that sort of graffiti style. And obviously this is a boy's name, so it's just a bit more suitable for that. So we're not dividing the letters anywhere. Again, that's not the look I want. And the next bit is we're going to go for a white Posca pen. Give that a good shake up. Make sure it's working. Done that before there, haven't I? And then on the long side of each letter, we're going to do almost like an exclamation mark, but with 3 dots, like a highlight. Now, the great thing about these pens is they stand out. So even on the lighter colour there, I'm going to come down that side and we're going to put the 3 dots there. And then it just sort of highlights those. Now, we are not finished yet, because what happens now is, this is and you can use this for, I don't know, a gift tag onto the front of a birthday card. You know, you could use a far chunkier black pen if you wanted that really sort of bold outline. But next, we want some splats. Now, we're going to use our brush, the one we used at the very, very beginning. And we are just going to grab a little bit of water into one of the colours. And just add some of those splats. Grab my cloth, wipe behind, because it just looks a bit messy now, doesn't it? Or just wipe colour everywhere. And then the last thing to do is just dry that off. So I'm just going to grab my heat gun, take this away. Don't want to dry on my mat there. And the other thing to do is, if you've got a few of these to do, you can just leave them to dry all on their own. That isn't quite dry there, so I'm just going to grab my cloth. Oh, that's added a really cool yellow dot, look. And then if we pop that onto a piece of black card, look how it stands out. So what I'll do now is I'll go off camera, I'll stick this down, and I'll come back and show you the finished article. And there we go, it's all finished. And the nice thing about this is, if you want to add a little bit more detail anywhere else, you can absolutely do that. Just tailor it to the name you have, the person you want to give it to, and how they're going to love it. Hope you enjoyed this Freehand Friday. Have a great day, guys. Bye.